Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, thanks a lot, Ken, and thank you for tuning into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. I'll be joined by Chris Mueller in a matter of moments over at the 93.7 The Fan Cam. And you can give us a call on the Borders and Borders hotline at 412-575-2600 is the number. And we have a lot to talk about, including quarterbacks. Two quarterbacks, two different situations here in Pittsburgh, at Pitt, and at the Steelers. We could start with the Steelers. It looked like Kenny Pickett was going to miss this Sunday's game, but after talking to him today and watching practice, he was wearing a brace out there, and he told us that he's playing Sunday. Chris, do you think it's a good move? I guess it depends on his health and if he can withstand the pain, which it seems like he's going to. But I don't know about your opinion. But my opinion right now, something needs to change with the offense. We all know that. Maybe bringing in Mitch Trubisky, I'm not saying he's better than Kenny Pickett, just might provide something to get this thing going. And maybe you sit Kenny Pickett because you have an opportunity to. You got a bye week, and then maybe you go with them when you come back to play in L.A.
You know, there's a school of thought, Richie, that says that if you play Mitch Trubisky in this game, that it means you don't believe in Kenny Pickett. But I think if you are the Steelers, you can fall back. Even to Pickett's face, you can say this. You can say, we don't trust the knee. We know you say you feel good, but we don't want to put you out there when you might potentially be compromised. And we know you're a gamer, and you're not gonna tell us that your knee hurts if you think you can gut it out, but we don't want to do that. And then they'd have an excuse to play Trubisky, give Pickett basically a 2-week breather, and try to reset this thing. That's what I'd do. I would play Mitch Trubisky. I think Kenny Pickett's been mostly miserable this year. You know, Najee Harris, to borrow something that you played there in your sportscast, he said basically, stop talking about Matt Canada. You guys in the media, you fans, you're getting it wrong. We need to execute. Well, chief among the people who needs to execute is Kenny Pickett, who once again had a litany of early bailed pockets, missed open receivers, and otherwise plays that make Matt Canada's offense look even worse than it already actually is against the Texans. I thought he was one of their chief problems again. I thought he was bad. I thought the 4th and 1 play, as frustrating as it was largely on Kenny Pickett spinning into a sack and getting himself hit the way that he did on that play. So I would play Mitch Trubisky. And here's the other thing, Richie. This is maybe the other part of this. Pickett talks about, I like to make plays with my legs, whatever. He gets out of the pocket too often. If he's trying to do that on a knee that is not 100%, he's going to be less effective in doing it and probably subject himself to more hits from a division rival that likes pummeling you more than any other and hits harder than any other rival you have. So I just feel like there is, and I don't want to overstate this, this sounds dramatic, I feel like there's the potential for a disaster on the field. Not like that he gets hurt catastrophically, but that he just has a game that is maybe the worst of his career if he plays.
You know, how long does it take for the Steelers offense to get booed Sunday against the Ravens?
One series. If they go 3-and-out on their first series, even if it's Trubisky, who I think would have a little bit more rope with the fan base because he hasn't played at all really this year in any significant way. If it was one series with Pickett and they go 3-and-out, and it's some uninspiring play call or it's a skipped pass 2 yards at a receiver's feet, I think they're going to get booed immediately. And I think people would be right to boo. There's this weird contingent that says, come on, why are you going to boo the home team? No way. Get out of here with that. You have every right to boo this team. It's as bad as they have looked, even though they're 2-2. I think in Mike Tomlin's tenure, the offense just looks completely hopeless, and they absolutely deserve the slings and arrows right now.
No identity. I think that's the biggest thing for me. If they would just keep going with the rushing attack and just keep doing, even if that failed. But they bail on that and they go to these pass options that aren't successful. And you got Kenny Pickett throwing 30 yards to gain 1. It just doesn't work. Just doesn't work.
Well, they don't have any cohesiveness.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm going to keep harping on this.
No rhythm.
Richie, I'm going to keep harping on this, though. Like, I think we've all said our piece about Matt Canada. I know Mike Tomlin has some larger influence in the offense, and I don't necessarily think that's a good thing because I think sometimes he gets caught up in it too much. I don't think anybody really believes Matt Canada calls particularly good plays or structures good games. But let's be real. Kenny Pickett, who's the one person people don't really want to criticize because it's tough to criticize your team's first-round pick, doubly so when they played for the local college team, he has made Canada's offense look even worse than it actually is by just repeatedly missing receivers. There are just too many cut-ups on the internet that are very readily available where you can see in perfect motion Kenny Pickett not looking at open receivers, not finding them. On that 4th and 1 play, there are literally 3 open receivers and a clean pocket, and he has already turned his back on the play because he thinks he needs to scram. That is just bad quarterbacking.
Yeah, and I think it was a bad play call. I would have actually kicked a field goal there.
But the play call worked. Richie, the play call worked. Calvin Austin was open for at least 15 yards. Najee Harris was open in the flat for a first down. Connor Hayward's open on the backside of the play. Like, I have to ditch the idea that it was a bad play call. You might have wanted them to run it there, fine. But the call that they went with got 3 people open, including one for a pretty good chunk of yardage, and the quarterback just didn't make the play because he bailed out of the pocket.
All right, I want to dive into this a little bit more, but we got to take a break. We're going to take phone calls and continue this conversation coming up next. On the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, 412-575-2600 is the number.